Hello and welcome to the White Hat versus Black Hat SEO show. My name is Josh Dream Killer Bachynski. And on the show today, I kill the dreams of SEOs who have no idea what they're talking about and don't have powerful scientific tools like Cora or don't do single variable tests. And on the show today, we have a bunch of people from my mentorship group and also our Black Hat, Gray Hat programmer extraordinaire, good friend of the show and co-host, Ted Kabitis. Say hi there, Ted.
Hello. Thanks for having me again.
The pleasure, sir, is always ours. So if you've never seen the White Hat versus Black Hat SEO show, we are the best SEO show on the YouTubes. And the reason is very simple. We have the best, most stringent testing. So we have the highest level of SEO knowledge as opposed to everyone else who has a high level of SEO guessing. And they don't understand the difference between knowledge and guessing. That's because I was doing a PhD in university. I guess that's why I know the difference. Ted knows the difference too. Everyone in my mentorship group knows the difference between knowledge from scientific testing, from scientific tools, and random wild guessing of, I think I saw something, maybe it has to do with the 20 things that happened. And they randomly pick one of the 20 things out of the list that they want to sell you in a package. So that's why we know the most, and that's why we're the best. If you disagree, come on the show. People have come on the show before. They've given me things to test. I've tested them. Sometimes I was right. Sometimes, very rarely, I was wrong, but occasionally I was wrong. And they've come on the show and debated, and they usually don't come back after that, but that's fine because no one likes to be wrong, but that's all right. So you're tuned into the right place of where to get SEO knowledge. And so today we're going to start off with what's new in SEO. People are still recovering from this July 29th update. Now, here's a perfect example where the SEO industry is calling this the Medic update. Let me show you, just in case you want some reference as to what I'm talking about here. Let me show you Barry Schwartz's blog. Barry Schwartz runs the blog SE Roundtable. And they called it the Medic update because one of their SEO hacks by the name of Marie Haynes, who used to be a dentist and is now an SEO consultant, she's kind of part of the White Hat SMX crowd. She noticed, no, I think it was either it was her or it was the other guy from New Jersey, Gabe something. I can't remember his name. But they noticed a random correlation that a bunch of medical sites, or what they considered your money or your life medical sites, seemed to be hit by the August 29th update. Of course, that's just picking random factors out of a list of like 100 things it did. But that's why they called it the Medic update. So that's why they're calling it the Medic update. Does it really have anything to do with your money or life sites? No, not as far as we can tell. All of our scientific testing does not point in that direction particularly. If it is medical update related, it's only because of the specific factors that we saw that it's tracking happen to hit medical sites as well as every other site. None of the sites I run that were either benefited by it or any of the clients who came to me afterwards who were hit by it, none of them were medical sites. And in the Black Hat world, they're not running a lot of medical sites, and a lot of the people in Black Hat world complained about this update as well. So there's no reason really to call it the Medic update. What we saw from running Cora, Ted's tool, which is a very powerful correlation tool that checks over 500 factors on 1,000 pages to see what's correlating with rankings. What we saw from that tool was they adjusted keywords slightly. They boosted the power of social. And so you're not doing social, you might have seen a big tank. They adjusted keywords. So if you're not looking at your keywords on pages, you might have saw a big tank. They've been increasing the relevancy of keywords mega big time ever since the April 16th update, which we've been tracking it ever since then. We can run a before after with this tool, and we can see very clearly what Google's changed. And we can tell if Google is a liar or not. When they say it's nothing you can fix, they're 99% of the time lying. And the other thing that majorly changed was I run a lot of quality testing in a controlled environment where there's no traffic except the traffic I send, and I know exactly what I send the traffic to do, and I know exactly what they do on every page. And so I could see these pages get rebooted and then either go up or down based on the latest quality scores from user clicks. And so I also happen to infer from that, and I know with some level of educated certainty that it was also a quality update as well. So those are the things that changed really for the what I'm calling the social update or the Twitter update, because if you want to pick any random factor, it was more about that than it was about medical stuff.
Yeah, can I briefly talk about the article?
Please do.
So Barry Schwartz from Search Engine Roundtable gave me access to all the survey data he had. And so it was all the people who said they saw a change as a result of the update. They gave the URL that saw the change and the keyword they saw the change on. So I went through and did analysis. I measured all the factors for all the web pages that saw a rank improvement. And I measured all the factors that were working well for the keywords where people claimed losses. So I found what was succeeding in those keywords. And then I did an analysis of all the factor deficits that the web pages that saw losses were. All three sets had near 100% agreement.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, which is crazy. It's coming at the problem from two totally different directions and getting the exact same answer. The websites that saw gains were strong in the top correlating factors, and the websites that saw losses were weak in the top correlating factors. Period. If you want to respond to this update, measure your factors, fix the deficits.
Yeah. So, I mean, and in the wild, you never see near 100% correlation between this and this. So, I mean, this is not, they say, anyone who doesn't understand how Cora works or has listened to a little too much of Rand Fishkin's Moz Whiteboard Fridays, they might go, oh, cause correlation. And yes, it's true. Just because you see smoke doesn't necessarily mean there's fire. However, again, to extend the metaphor and to make the metaphor perfectly map onto what Ted saw in the SEO world, if you both see smoke and it's bone dry in the forest and you smell wood smoke and you see smoke in the air and you know there's been fires in the area, you'd be an idiot not to conclude that therefore there's some fire somewhere, right? And so all the correlations matter. And Ted's winning list and loser list saw the winning on the most on the same factors. They saw the losing the most on the losing factors. That is too perfect to be a coincidence. And only Cora is the only tool you can measure this with, and the only tool you can take Google to task and know exactly what the ranking factors are. So if you want to try Cora out, you can do it at bit.ly/get-Cora. That's a 25% off link, by the way. bit.ly/get-Cora. You could try it out for yourself. Don't take our word for it. Fine. Run the tool yourself. See what your deficits are and see what your factors are and what you need to bump up to get better ranking factors. Because at the end of the day, Google can change it at any time. I also use controlled environment testing where and Cora works in with this very specifically, where Cora says a bunch of these things might be ranking factors because they're correlating very highly. And then I take it out into a single variable test and I test it. And quite often I see, yeah, these are ranking factors. Sometimes they're not. Like Ted and I always have this friendly debate about this one. Meta keywords, for example, where meta keywords quite often will correlate highly with rankings, but then I pull it out into a single variable test. The last time I did this was about 5 months ago, maybe 6 months, and it didn't show any boost in the single variable testing. So I ignore that one. But Ted's argument in this regard, if I can just argue for Ted, is it takes 5 minutes to do it, and so you might as well throw it into your strategy anyway. And Ted is right in this regard, in the second part of his argument, when he says, because Google can change it at any time. My latest single variable test for this was 6 months ago. For all I know, Google did an about face, and they made it a ranking factor again, for all I know, because they're using machine learning for all their ranking factors anyway.
Yeah, my 30 seconds on meta keywords is it often correlates with rank position. So in the field, it appears to matter. It's obviously harmless. It's very easy to do. All the top online retailers still use it, and it's a known component of quality score for pay-per-click advertising. So it's got all the components of something you ought to be doing anyway.
And Google News uses it as well. So, but the thing is, you couldn't even tell that unless you have Cora to run the test. You can listen to all the opinions of other SEOs, and that's about as good as throwing a dart at a board with a bunch of random factors, and that's about as good as that, right? So Cora and controlled environment testing is the only way to make sense of this mess, and that's what this group excels in, and that's what we do, and that's why you should be listening to us. Okay, so let's go on answering some questions here. I see we have the bad boy Black Hat SEO himself, Erock, who won the one and only White Hat versus Black Hat conference that I ran, and probably the only one I ever will run.
I came in second.
And Ted came in second. That's true. Erock is here. He was the winner of the conference. How you doing, Erock?
Hey, what's going on?
Debating SEO stuff as per usual. How you doing?
Good. Good. I'll just throw in some monkey wrenches.
Please do.
So, and I wanted to congratulate Ted on being featured in the search engine article as well. So that was pretty wicked awesome. So yeah. So anyway, Josh, anything that I hopefully can add during the questions, I'll be happy to, and just turn it back over to you, my friend.
All right. Thank you very much, Erock. So yeah, and so we also got a bunch of people here from my mentorship group. You guys, if you guys have any questions at all that you want to ask, go ahead and type them in the chat or unmute yourself and go ahead and ask them. But I'm going to look right now. So let's just do another Q&A, and then I'll see what kind of questions we got. And then I have something special for you. I have an update on some recent testing that I want to share with you guys that, for some reason shook the SEO world. I don't know why, maybe because a lot of SEOs are selling snake oil. I don't know. Maybe that's the reason why. But I will touch on that in a second. So let's go check out here what questions people have got so far.
Josh, can I go ahead and sell some snake oil right now too? It's
go
on
ahead.
sale right now. Normally it's $10, but you can get your snake oil today for 99 cents. 2-ounce supply.
Ooh, 2-ounce supply. Snake oil. Fantastic. You have the best prices on snake oil. Okay. DM Zane asks, hello, everyone. My question today is, if I'm using Google products such as Forum, Docs, Slide, Share, etc., does it help one with ranking? In other words, will I get a stronger boost using their product line? DM Zane, that's a great question. We tested this. Both Kyle's group, SIA, which Ted and I are also members of, and also my group independently tested this as well. And let me show you right now how that's looking. I think it was, let's see if I can get it firing here. No, I have to go to my test to do it. Let's see, where is that test here? Let me find it and share it. So what we did is we made a Google site to see if it would rank better and to see if it passed more juice. And so we started playing around with this stuff, and I want to show you the result, and I'll explain what's happening afterwards. So here's my test SERP where we made both an exact match domain on this keyword, we made subpages on this keyword, and then we made a Google site. And we also made a subdomain on a blogspot for this this keyword. We made links to various places on these keywords. Here's a link to the Google domain. And the long and the short of it is that it all depends on the clicks, my friend. This page right now is getting more clicks, and that's why it's beating this one. Usually the google.com site, I have to admit, I was doubtful. This is one of those cases where I'm doubtful of the SEO opinions, but it actually turned out fairly true in testing, although not perfectly true. This Google site is usually ranking better than the rest of this stuff. It all depends on where the clicks fall. And I have analytics on all these properties, so I can tell where the clicks are falling. But a page will easily beat it if it gets the clicks. And also, we did put links on this site to other pages, and the links did seem to give a nice boost. So does it work? The answer is yes, but work is far too simple an adjective. You don't really want to be using the adjective work. You want to be a little bit more particular, like, should I be using it as my main page for my business? The answer, I think, is no, is that it's not going to give you any kind of particular boost. You don't have any branding on that domain name. It doesn't look good when your business SEO website, when your business website is on a Google domain. It just doesn't look good. And then 3, Google can choose to shut off any boosts it's giving to its own products at any time, and they often do. I mean, all the time when their products are shown to be giving an unfair SEO advantage, they always turn that off over time. And so I don't think it's going to have any advantage. I see that ranking we showed you go up and down over time, depending on what clicks everything is getting. So at the end of the day, it's the clicks that are doing the real magic there. I have to admit that when there was no clicks being tested, it did rank a little bit better. It did rank over the pages, but it ranked under Blogspot and under the exact match domain. At that rate, if you really want to get the boost of what's the best URL, what's the most powerful URL factor, exact match domain in our testing is the strongest URL factor every single time. Every single time. And I've tested that, and Kyle's tested that. And how well does exact match domains usually show up in Cora there, Ted? If you have that in recent memory, you're muted right now, my friend.
Sorry, exact match domains, like the whole exact match domain is a fairly weak correlation, but partial match domains, where you have one of your variant terms or substring matches in the domain, is very common.
Yeah.
And recently I found a reason why that might be. And Erock could probably elaborate on this more, but I don't want to go too deep because it's one of Erock's methods, and I don't want to out his method. But the thing I found, the part I can talk about, is in SIA, we recently discovered that Google was sending relevancy scores with Google suggested keywords.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I dug in, I found the source code that Google uses to generate these relevancy scores. And so I started analyzing the Google source code. And what I found out is that Google provides a base score, and then that base score gets modified with scores and suggestions from your local history. So your local behavior gets blended in with the suggestions that Google has as a default. So what that implies is that if you send people to a Google search link, that automatically gets you some favoritism in their auto suggest on what can appear there. So there's lots of exploits around that, having your domain as a keyword, having your business name as a keyword, getting you organic traffic via auto suggest.
Right. Yeah. So there's an extra loop there, not only just the general ranking factors, but there's an extra personalization loop or auto suggest loop built into Chrome there. So yeah, and I'm not surprised at all that you didn't see exact match domains correlating highly with rankings. And again, there's two perfect examples in that talk we just had as to why you should be listening to us and only us. Let me show you why. One, because only we're one of the only groups that you can listen to that does a regular show anyway, that both had controlled environment testing to show that EMDs have a powerful signal in isolation. In isolation, EMDs have a very powerful signal. But Cora also is another factor to tell us if our single variable tests are going to show that way in the wild. And they're better than eyeballing it because they're checking, dozens or hundreds or thousands of environments as opposed to just one, eyeball and my anecdotal opinion. But when Cora says that it's not correlating with rankings, Ted, I could see you have the I want to say something face.
I do. I was just going to say Cora 4 has something specifically, a feature specifically for you and your group. Cora 4 is all about these new tools that let you use the power of Cora in new and awesomely powerful ways. One of the tools is Correlate Anything.
Okay, right, yeah.
Which will let you take your test data and find the correlation. Because I know on your Monday meetings, there have been times where you would see a correlation in the numbers, and I look at it going, gee whiz, I don't see the correlation.
Yeah,
There might be slight correlation, but if you don't do the math, you can't tell.
Right. Yeah, no, that's a great feature. Yeah. Correlate anything. Yeah. So anytime anyone in the SEO world opens their mouth about anything, you can go, oh, really? You could plug it into Cora, and you could see the exact correlation of where it correlates. And yeah. That feature plus a million other ones you're putting in Cora 4 are going to be super interesting. But my 2 points were as to why you should listen to us and only us is because we do the single variable test, then we check it in Cora to see if it also correlates. If we have 2 wins there, we know it's a ranking factor and a powerful one. But when I test exact match domains, for example, in isolation to see if they're a ranking factor, and they are. Every time we test them, they show up number one. When Google sorts the list out of just URL factors, exact match domain wins every time. However, we don't see that as much in the wild, and it doesn't correlate in the wild. Partial match domains correlate better. So that's where this is what people don't understand. It's more of a process than just do a single variable test and then tell the world to go do it. It's you do a single variable test and you repeat that 3 times, and then another group repeats it, and then you know a ranking factor, but is there a multivariant in there somewhere, which is entirely possible. And then Cora helps us get that information out there where we know there's a multivariant, and then we can give our suggestion to the people yes, exact match domains are powerful. We've proven that in single variable testing, but they don't correlate highly with rankings. We don't often see them in the wild. And every time I do an audit on an exact match domain, it's having quality problems. So I think that there is just a natural bias in Google's in the wild algorithms against exact match domains. So you should think very, very hard before you make them. And so the question was originally on Google sites. And so my answer is, if you're going to try and take advantage of a URL signal, go EMD instead. Because one, you can brand it to your brand or kind of to your brand / to your keyword. Use Go Partial Match because it gets the best boost. It gets the boost in Cora as well, and it gets boost in our testing. Don't use a Google site because Google can turn that off anytime. The second reason there why you should listen to us and only us is because if you understood what Ted just nonchalantly went over like it's no big deal, he is literally hacking Chrome. He is literally hacking Chrome and Google's algorithms. He is a next level programmer who has worked for huge programming companies. I'm not going to name which one, but it's a huge programming company that you all know and you've all used their products. He used to program for them. He is a next level programmer, and he's literally in hacking Google's code. And you think Chase, or you think Brian Dean, or you think Alex Becker, or you think any of these other people have any clue as to how to do that, or they're doing that, or even know anyone who's doing that? The answer is no. So, I mean, that alone should be a reason why you should be listening to this group's consolidated knowledge, as opposed to paying many thousands of dollars to pay for their courses, where these guys have no idea what they're talking about. They don't have the experience. They don't have the research base. They don't have the time, apparently, to do the research, and they're just selling snake oil, and that's just the way it is. So, I mean, that should be a piece of evidence there. He's literally hacking Google Chrome to find out some internal Google secrets. And he's like, yeah, no big deal. He does this every day. That's what Ted does before lunch. So don't come on my show and tell me you know something, or you're kind of on the same level.
It's not my fault if Google publishes a lot of their source code.
Right? Yeah. That was I couldn't believe that they left that out in the open. That must be something they left open to do some testing and they forgot to close it, or you just looked at it at the right time or something.
It's only half of the puzzle, but it's the part of the puzzle that they have to open up because it's the Chrome browser. So the piece they're hiding is how they generate the default scores.
Right. Yeah.
How blended in Chrome source.
Yeah, it's too bad. That's probably too iffy, and Google could remove that at any time. It's probably too bad that you can't really take advantage of that, or are you going to take advantage of that in Core 4?
Well, it's hard to take advantage of. It's fascinating data. I don't think they'll get rid of it quickly because they have to support all of the legacy Chromes. And if you just rip that out, you would break everybody's Chrome install. So it would take time for Google to stop doing it.
Okay, so you heard it here first, folks. Ted has found another hack into Google. This is multiple hacks he's found by now, by the way. And he's putting it into Core 4, or at least the option is there for him to use it. So get on Core 4 before Ted decides to raise the price to some ungodly amount, because that's what it's worth.
Ted.
Yep.
I have to, just chime in and agree with Josh that I think that with Cora 4, there should be a 4x increase in the cost. How about that?
Yeah, my number one complaint about Cora is the price. So if you're out there and upset about the price, I understand. And the number one suggestion from my customers is to raise the price. They all want me to raise my price because they don't want other people using it.
Yes, that's true. I've literally heard that. I've heard both. That's true. And who knows, maybe Ted and I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there hypothetically, maybe Ted and I can get some kind of Josh mentorship / Core 4 package going so that all my mentor students get a Core 4 install. I'm just saying, maybe that could be worked out. Just throwing it out there. Just putting Ted on the spot in public.
I'm open. Let's run the numbers and see what it looks like. But I'm not.
Good. All right. DM Zane goes off here. So again, if you guys have SEO questions, go and ask it on the right-hand side here. Try to make sure you put some asterisks or some stars beside it so I can see it with my big Coke bottle glasses here. DM Zane continues on here to say that the second part of his question is, will I get strong authority backlinks from using their products? And that's again, the Google sites. And again, like I said, that's the second part of your question. Yeah. And like I said, yes, when we made a link in testing, it gave even though it was no follow, it gave like a 5-spot boost to that page. So yeah, crazy link juice from that link. But so you can go ahead and use it. You can use it once. Okay, whoop-de-doo. You use that link once. It's not going to be enough to rank a site. 1, 2, it's kind of hokey. You know, any of your competitors can find it. And 3, Google can turn that off at any second. So it's like asking me, it's like if I'm teaching you martial arts. I have 3 black belts. I teach martial arts. And it's like you came to me and said, hey, Josh, if some guy came to fight me and I did this, and it freaked him out, and then I punched him, is that a good thing to do in a fight? And I'm like, okay, well, if it works, great. But I don't think that can be your main method. that can't be your main martial arts style, to be like, and then punch him. You know, that's not going to work long term, and especially if somebody's seen it, and then it's never going to work again. So it's the same kind of deal. It's kind of hokey, and yeah, if it works for you, great, use it. I'm not saying don't use it, but Google can turn that off at any second they want to. Although then again, to argue against myself, it is already no follow. But Google, no. I'm gonna go back. If Google wants to turn that off, they can turn that off at any time. And so if Google is going to continue and behave in the past like they have every single time, when you out a Google product to Google, and I could email John Mueller right now and he'd read it in 4 minutes. Maybe not now, he's probably asleep now, but I could email John Mueller and get this done. I could say, hey John, everyone's using these Google sites and they're clearly showing a boost. Here, look at my single variable test. He will have that turned off tomorrow. Any other jerk white hat can do that if they're getting pissed off how good ranking we are. So I wouldn't rely on that, dude. I really wouldn't, because it could be taken away like that, just so easily. Whereas, E-Rock, did you want to jump in?
No.
Oh, okay. I heard an inhale of breath, like I was going to get a torrent of argument. Chica, that was you?
Yeah, I had a quick question for Ted about the Cora software, about the workflow for it. What's the, I understand that you can use it at any time, but what's the ideal time? Like if I'm building a site, is that the best time to use it before I start building my pages, or is it as I'm building my pages? What's the best workflow?
Most people get the most value from Cora when they maintain an archive of their keyword reports over time. Because ultimately what saves you down the road is being able to compare a report from before an update and a report from after an update to find out how things got derailed and what you need to do about it.
That is so valuable. That is so valuable.
Yeah, but in general, you can use Cora for existing pages. You can force a URL into the top 100 results with Cora so that you can get competitive measurements for a page that, say, isn't indexed yet, doesn't rank in the top 100. You know, it's a new page, nobody's seen it, but you want to get the measurements. So people do use it at design time on pages. It's a great way to find out what it's going to take to be competitive. So I would recommend using it whenever you're establishing costing for an SEO project. So if you want to get the numbers right, then you put billing rates to the factors you can influence, and you measure them and apply those rates so you get accurate costing.
That's
very interesting.
Oh, dude, that's so good. It's that's like you can push the needle on each of these numbers because you have Cora. So you attach your prices to that. I essentially do the same thing in my mentorship group and for my clients. I guarantee page 1 rankings. I guarantee I can push the needle, and I guarantee I can improve your rankings from where they are. And I could do that because of my controlled environment testing and because Cora and because of my knowledge base and my experience and my audits and all of that put together. So I know for a fact that I can rank any site in any niche and push the needle, make it better. Yeah. So I mean, so I can kind of give that promise in my mentorship group that I can help you improve things for sure, 100%, no questions. Well, I'll say 99%. I'll just save myself there some grief in case somebody comes with a really hard case or something, like they want to take on Walmart or something. Okay, well, maybe that might be a little tough, but not really actually. And yeah, so if you can tie your billing, you can use Cora as a tool there as well as an SEO for billing. It's like, look, we're going to do these things, or I don't suggest giving out any information out for free because our information is just too damn good, quite frankly. But you can definitely give out, Cora reports and be like, and then I'll tie your costs based on that. You could definitely do it that way. Okay, I've got a whole bunch of more questions here in the chat here. Video Status asks, what is the new technique regarding off-page SEO? There's a lot going on with off-page SEO. I've done a lot of testing in my controlled environment. I have a foolproof off-page SEO plan that always pushes the needle forward. I can't really say what it is here. One, it's too complex. It would take the whole hour. It's a course unto itself. So join my mentorship group if you want to learn the new techniques, especially for off-page SEO. Saxena Candy asks, my page is stuck at number 11 position. I did increasing keyword ratio, pointed some new backlinks to my guest post on relevant niche blogs, not moving a needle. What to do? Any tip or suggestion? Yes, Saxena, if that's really your name. I'm sorry if it's not. I was going to call you that. Yes, Saxena. Yeah, you should be doing an audit. You should be contacting me to do an audit for that or you should be running a full Cora report and seeing what's going on there. Either one. Because you need to take a step back and look at all the factors from a fresh pair of eyes, either Cora's fresh pair of eyes or my fresh pair of eyes. So that's what you would need to do there. You might have done those things wrong, or you might be missing something totally different than that. Because it's not just keywords, links, and that's not all the ranking factors, guys. There's about 20 other ones that are important on top of that. So you have to make sure you have a tick in all those boxes. Jason Witt asks, now this is a good question. What percentage of sites have been notified via Webmaster Tools they are on the mobile first index? And does not being notified yet mean your mobile site is too slow? No, I'm not aware of any solid information that we could use to infer that just because you haven't been moved to the mobile first index yet, that you are there's anything wrong with your mobile site. But that's entirely possible because John Mueller did say at one point that they're moving over the easy cases first. So if you haven't been moved over, you might not be an easy case. But at the end of the day, you shouldn't try and spot diagnose it like that. You shouldn't be trying to isolate factors because, one, you don't know the factors. Two, only I and Ted and maybe Kyle and maybe that's about it. We're about the three only people who know the factors really that are the real factors up to date. And so you shouldn't be trying to spot it to factors. You need to take a step back and with another fresh pair of eyes, you need to look at, if you're not ranking, anybody who's going to ask me a question on this thing, if you're not ranking, this is what you need to do. You need to take a step back. You need to look at all the factors across the board. You need to know what they are to begin with. And you need to do a full audit or a full Cora report or some kind of process like that where you can tell what you're missing and what you're not missing. And it's a danger in the SEO industry, and we do this all the time. People always ask me, what were the July 29th update factors? And I go, well, from our testing, they were this, this, and this, and this, what I said at the top of the show. And then they go, okay, and with blinders on, they go fix that, and that, and they ignore everything else that could be wrong, and they don't get any result. So that's not how you proceed in SEO. In SEO, you have to do a full check on everything, make a work list, complete it, see where you're getting, do another full audit, do a work list, complete it, etc. And there's a couple of reasons. One, you have blinders on as to what's going on. Two, Google can make changes, and you need the people who are running tests constantly and tracking those changes to know when suddenly something's changed. For example, I suspect that a major I know for a fact, actually, that major things have changed in the SEO industry in the last, since April 16th. And Ted knows even better because he owns Cora, know for a fact that there have been ranking factors that have changed since April 16th that would blow the mind of 99% of the SEOs out there. It's such a boneheadedly obvious thing for Google to do, and it's such a reversal as to everything they've been doing for the last 20 years that they've reversed onto something else that the rest of the SEO industry would go, I can't believe Google's done that, but they have. And in fact, they've done like 4 things like that we've found in testing. And so Google is very good at tricking people. So you need to do full audits, and you need to be checking in with the information source that knows the current algorithms as to what's going on now. And don't just go, oh, the July 29th update was about medical sites, so I should, whatever, and then infer whatever thing off of that, because the premise is already flawed. And so you want to avoid the premise being flawed. And to do that, you do a full check on everything, as opposed to just getting blinders on and only looking at this and only looking at that when there's a huge problem over here that you totally forgot to look at. Okay, Video Status also asks, what is the new ranking factor? Well, I don't know what you mean. There's many new ranking factors, and so you have to be more specific, and you probably need to join my mentorship group for me to give you too much information about that. Now there's a million questions. I have to try and find where that question was. Here we go. Okay. Peter says, hi guys, Cora is amazing, and he gives 3 muscly arms. Thank you, Peter. I agree. I see your 3 muscly arms, and I raise you 2 of my own. Utterly Digital says, Cora is incredible, as is Ted's customer service. I agree entirely. Calgary Painter says, Ted, are you going to allow Cora to be purchased on a per report basis? I'm a single site owner. That's a good question for Ted. What do you think, Ted?
I told him not anytime soon, but if he fills out the contact form on my website, I'll send him a report. Obviously, this video is going to be seen by hundreds of people, so I'll try to do a few of them, but there's a limit on how many I can do for free.
No, you can't do any for free. No. You have to charge something because people don't, sadly, value free. So, it's like, hey, you get the value of what you get out of it's free. And honestly, that's just my 2 cents.
You're totally right. But my
great content here for free, right? That's part of the value proposition. But it irritates me when people are like, oh, if you always seek free, how do you expect to ever charge other people for your products and services? Whoever's asking for free stuff, right? So we all want to make a living, right? It costs Ted a lot of time and effort and energy to put all this, his wisdom and years of experience into the product. And it's really a kind of a travesty that anybody would expect him to do it for free when he has to feed his family and pay the bills and the overhead and the servers and the support. So I'm just letting you know that hey, Ted, if you want to do it for free, go ahead. But for everybody else, it's not actually making it a point to attend live. I would just say too bad, because that's one of the benefits of maybe being here.
Yeah.
Or maybe you offer some sort of serious discount to the people that are here live as an incentive to show up live.
He already does. The bit.ly link I give out has 25% off per month.
It's
bit.ly/get-Cora for 25% off.
And I think, Ted, that I'm going to beat you up on a little bit, because I helped Ted with a little bit of we're good friends, and we'll talk about ideas and strategies. I've been telling Ted for a long time he needs to have a resource page with some brand ambassadors on the site of certified Cora users. And maybe those, then you could say, hey, I don't do that, but if you want to reach out to one of our Cora reports, and maybe you standardize it that anybody can get a Cora report from a certified individual for $97 or something as a one-off fee or something like that.
And that's exactly right. If I'm unable to help you simply because I'm overwhelmed, you could always reach out to Josh. You could always reach out to E-Rock. There are plenty of people with Cora who would probably be willing to help you get a report. And a few times a year I do just go crazy, and I'll put up a form, and we'll crank through a couple hundred free reports, but you got to wait for those events.
Yeah. And here's another great piece of evidence. Do you ever see Alex Becker? Or do you ever see any of these other OMG guys? Do you ever see any of these guys who are charging 5 or 10 grand for training ever give away anything for free? Never. Never in a million years do they give away anything for free. And Ted is literally trying to feed his baby and his wife with his software. And he's working, what, 12-hour days? You must work at least 12 hours a day because you're always on Skype.
That's hard time for Ted.
And he's willing to give you free stuff. I mean, you guys should literally thank God or Buddha or the great spaghetti monster, whatever deity you pray to, that Ted exists and he's willing to do that stuff. And that should be another piece of evidence to show you that we're the good guys you should be listening to and everybody else is not. Steve Buchanan, who's a longtime follower, has a very funny question. He says, I don't believe you. Do you have any proof from, let's say, a bit.ly link or something? As a matter of fact, I do. If you want to go to that I know what I'm talking about, go to bit.ly/SEO proof. Again, that's bit.ly/SEO proof. And that's all my recent successes using all of my methods and all of my learning, controlled environment testing, all my experience of 20 years, all my Google leaks, all my emails from John Mueller, and all my Cora knowledge that I have in there. And those are the results I get on a weekly basis. I just throw them in there whenever I have a new success. So if you want to see that I know what I'm talking about, there it is. Let's see what other. Let's see. I don't know. Bra asks, can you tell us which factors in Cora you were just talking about? Ted has answered that. Good. Thank you, Ted. Chris is waiting for his audit. Yes, Chris, I'm on schedule for that. I will get that to you. Video status says, at the time, no penalty on my site, but my keyword is lost because of new August Google algorithm. Is there any suggestion for coming to my old position? Yes, like I said at the top of the show, those are the factors that it seems to be about. You can try to spot diagnosis like that, and maybe you'll get lucky. But at the end of the day, you need to get a fresh pair of eyes across all the factors on it. And you do that by running Cora, or you do that from getting an audit from myself. And that's what you need to do. The Calgary painter, the painter from Calgary, good old Calgary. Calgary is a great town over there, over the mountains from me. He asks, is the SEO different when trying to rank in the 3-pack of Google Maps? Yes, the SEO is quite different when you're trying to rank in Google Maps. All the Google My Business factors start to rank or start to play a factor in that. And so, Crush My SEO said, hit up Jordan Pierce. Jordan Pierce is a great guy, and he is the maps guru. You can hit him up for local stuff. You can also email me. I can do an audit. I can share with some of my local tidbits with you. DM Zane asked, Josh, would you be able to provide a checklist that shows the best ranking factor based on your studies in order of most important to least? No. To my mentors, yes. To my mentorship group, yes. But for free? No. Why would I ever do that? You could literally make $1 million business based on the knowledge that I have, and people have made $1 million businesses based on the knowledge that I have. For example, case in point, and this is what E-Rock was just talking about, in that everyone giving away stuff for free, and people in the third world giving away SEO for like $50 a month or $100 a month devalues everything. And I think that that's a danger. This guy here is my longtime student. Here is what SEMrush thinks his traffic is worth. Boy, that's a nice little chunk of change. This is my longtime student. This is not even me. This is a guy I mentor. Which I'm a little jealous. I'm like, oh, damn it! Instead of telling you how to rank a site in this niche, I should have made my own site in this niche. Is what I should have done. But I'm happy for his success, and also I'm happy that he was able to, after the April update here, he was able to listen to what we do, and he was able to get all his rankings back. You'll notice that's again partly due to Cora, and again due to my controlled environment testing and my mentorship. So people can make a huge amount of money based on my knowledge. No, I would never ever give it away for free. I'll give it away for free to my mentorship group, and which is not all that expensive, by the way. Right now, it's $300 for the basic mentorship group per month. $300 a month. That's going to be going up very shortly to $424 per month. So you heard it here first, folks. I wanted to give to my viewers the first chance. If you want to sign on to my mentorship group, it's $300 a month up until maybe next week, a week after that. Then it's going to be going up to 424, and I'm only going to be taking probably 20 students at that point, an extra 20 students on. So that's the kind of results you can get. Go to bit.ly/SEO proof, and you'll see the other kind of results you can get from my mentorship group. And you heard Ted say to you publicly that we're going to work on some kind of mentorship/Cora bundle. So all my students can have Cora 4 to work on as well. He said it here publicly, so now he can't go back on it. We'll have to work on something like that. And quite frankly, this is like going to a university. Again, I'm going to rant on this a little bit. I do apologize, but this really is like going to a university. Like Ted is trying to feed his family. I'm trying to feed my family, as we all are. And I know times are tough for everybody, and I know that everybody has budgeting problems. That's probably why you're asking for the list for free, because you probably don't have a lot of money. I would hope if you have a lot of money, you're asking for a free list. F off, go somewhere else. But it's kind of like going to a university and asking for like a master's degree in engineering for free. They're going to say no, and it takes time and it takes effort to give this education out. It takes time and effort to make it. So I'm never going to give that away for free. That just devalues myself, nor should I. And it's a little bit rude for you to ask, quite frankly. It's a little bit inappropriate to ask that. If other people are giving away stuff for free, it's because their stuff is crap, right? I mean, if Ted, out of the kindness of his heart, wants to fire off a Cora report every now and then, that's a different thing, because Cora is not free regularly, and Cora is a very powerful piece of software. But if someone like, oh, I don't know, other people on YouTube or other people on Facebook are giving away the complete ranking factors for free, or they're giving you one, it's going to be crap. It's going to be totally useless, and it's only going to be relevant to that month. Even if it was perfectly accurate, it'd only be relevant to that month, and it wouldn't be any use to you anyway. Education costs money. Good education costs money. That's because there's good results that come out of it. Look at bit.ly/SEO proof, and you know that I'm legit with what I'm talking about, and you know that the people who follow me or hire me as a consultant are getting huge returns from doing that. And I could literally fill an entire page with the kudos that Ted has gotten from Cora, and how many people saying, I love Cora. I got a 40 spot boost, a 30 spot boost. I got a 5 spot boost on page 1, blah, blah, blah. I could literally fill a whole page with that in tiny little font. So no, we're not giving it away for free, and shame on you for asking. Alexander asked, Josh, any news about my movie release? For those of you who don't know, I made a documentary about Google and how they're hurting small businesses and ripping off small businesses and making it impossible for small businesses to rank in Google. And yes, that's going to be released on iTunes very shortly. It's amazing how long it takes, but sadly, it's going to take a little bit of a time here. The Calgary Painter asks, how does Cora differ from Page Optimizer Pro? Cora is both a diagnostic and a tactical tool that you can also use for scoping out clients. You could also use for pricing for clients. You can also use for special research. Cora is the entire toolbox, including a tricorder to do scans. POP is just a screwdriver. It's a one tool for one particular thing. And there could be some issues with getting too narrow-minded in using either tool. And so that's why education is always the final answer. And definitely Cora is going to be, I think, more important moving forward in that kind of a regard, if you can afford it. POP is a little cheaper. So there are pros, and Kyle is our friend of the show too. So there are pros and cons. You're going to have to make your choice there.
Yeah.
And can I chime in on something real quick?
Sure.
All right. So who here is like live and wants to go out and get more SEO clients? Would you guys like a very simple way to go out and get some SEO clients like in the next 30 days?
Yes.
Yes, sure.
No, nobody wants more SEO clients, right?
Okay. I'm sure whatever E-Rock is going to offer here is great, but you just realize that this is the guy who won the Black Hat versus White Hat SEO conference using his blackest hattest tactics. I'll give you that warning up front, but I'm sure whatever he's going to say is great. Take it away, E-Rock.
So, and I'm only saying this because of my honest faith in Ted's product, having experience and having seen so many people's experience success with his software. So take it for what it's worth, right? But Ted, my knowledge is they do have to sign a lifetime month-to-month agreement for your software, right? They have to sign a lifetime agreement, correct?
Well, they can cancel anytime.
Oh, okay. Like you'd be silly to do that, but sure. But all I'm trying to point out is that the risk is that you make an investment of 1 month into Cora, right?
Correct.
And for those of you that are like, hey, I want free stuff, here's your solution so that you don't have to ever worry about asking for anything, hopefully for free again, right? But make the investment into Cora for 1 month, right? And then go into whatever vertical industry that you believe you're a specialist in or that you're passionate about, and go do and use Cora and run audit reports for free, the very thing that you're asking for, right? And then send them to the site owner for any business that's on page like 11, 12, or sorry, on spot 11, 12, 13 on page 2, or even at the bottom of page 10, right? Run the report, say, hey, I have inside access to a brand new technology that reveals over 500 Google secrets. And I ran this free report for you in this vertical. I also ran the report for also some of your competitors in the area. And it shows all the things that could be tweaked for your business over the next 30 days that would help you to move up in rankings. And I'll do all that work for you for $97 or $200, or what's the cost of the subscription? It's like $250, Ted, for currently before you raise your price soon, right? But charge $250.
Yeah, get it now.
And what you can do is if you're smart, is if you do that, I don't know, 5, 10, 15, 20 times, right? Over the 1 month of period of you're using Cora, you will get somebody who's going to be like, I'll throw $250 if you're telling me that I can go ahead and move up a few spots and get more traffic to my site. Right? So, I mean, does anybody see so again, like Josh, do you see any flaws in that logic at all?
No. I mean, you're absolutely right. And I'll up your suggestion with another tactical way of how to do this. Go on to Upwork. I guarantee to you, if you're offering $150 SEO audits on Upwork, you can sell those, or $250, you can sell those all day long. I guarantee you'll sell at least 5 a month, at least, right? So all you do is you put an advertisement up there, you go up there on Upwork, you'll get all the people asking you for the factors. You just run a Cora report, it takes you 5 minutes, and you send the Cora report, and you say, okay, do this. If you want me to do it, it's $585 or whatever your price is, and I can do it for you. Or here's the report. I wouldn't give away the report for free. I'd give the top 3 things away for free. I'd say, here's the top 5 things you should change on your site, and you get rid of the top 2 or top 3, and you give them 4 and 5. And you say, if you want the rest of these, it'll cost you whatever, $187, which I believe with the discount, for my bit.ly/get-Cora link, I think with the discount, I think it's $187 a month or something like that. So all you need to get is 1 customer on Upwork, 1. And then you pay for your own Cora subscription. And then you can use it to be a ranking king or queen or the gender of your choice moving forward over time. And your Cora subscription is already paid for, right? I bet you that would be a viable business, even for people living in the first world. I bet you can make a little bit of a money at that. Probably $2,000-3,000 a month you could probably make. Easy. So that's a golden suggestion there, Iraq, for sure. And that was a free suggestion. Right?
Yeah, free.
There you go. Free, more free
stuff. Free till Sunday.
We give enough free stuff away. We're not giving away everything. It's again, that really kind of annoys me a little bit, that suggestion. Can you give away all the ranking factors for free? That's like going into a store and going to the grocer and saying, hey, can you give me these steaks and these roasts and can you give that all to me for free? No, get out. That's inappropriate to ask. Why are you trying to rip us off, right? I don't know. It just boggles my mind. But anyway, Lisa Pavlova asks, hello, why does my website name show up in every title in Google, although I didn't put it there? It's taking precious space. It doesn't do that for my competitors. How do I remove it? That's a great question. In my experience, that usually happens when you have too much unrelated words in your title. So unrelated words to what they're searching for. So in my titles, this rarely happens at all because the titles are based around what they're searching for. And so Google typically doesn't tend to rewrite them. But if you're saying it doesn't happen to your competitors, well, look to see what your competitors are doing and how they're writing their titles, and try to get closer to what they're doing. And you don't want to go too far. You don't want to have like red apple pipe, red apples pipe, best red apples. You don't want to do that either. You want to have something like, wow, get the best red apples here for 2018. And then they would usually take that title. If people are searching best red apples and you did something like, wow, get the best red apples here 2018, they would usually keep that title in my experience. So that's what my suggestion would be.
Yeah, Google will also force the brand into the title text if it's missing and your brand is a high volume search term. So they'll customize in some cases. And in those cases, there's nothing you can do. Google just flat out wants it there.
Yep.
Yeah. Video Status asks another great question. He says, but Cora is paid, and I'm totally frustrated because of the algorithm. I don't have money, sir. Dude, I totally get it. I totally understand. There's people living in conditions where they don't have any money and barely any way to make money. I feel for you. I totally understand that, and I totally appreciate that. But appreciate this. It takes money to get money. And maybe somebody lied to you.
Wait, I'm going to interrupt you on that one.
Okay, go.
It does not take money to make money. We just gave you a way
Yes.
to go out for free.
Yes.
With initiative and hustle and come up with the money. Because you don't have to actually, by the way, buy Cora first.
No.
You could sit there, and I'll give you a great example, okay? This is how I actually got my start in the world of SEO, local SEO. Now, I did buy a course to get started in information product, right? But there's nothing to learn how to do local SEO. But I went out and I got the course, and I was like, you know what? I need to find someone that I could apply it on. And so I went out and I found someone to pay me money every month, right? A 4-figure deal. And I basically said, hey, I believe I can help you to rank in Google. And I'm like, give me 3 months. Let's see what we can do. And I'll give you a good deal, which we did. Right. And I had no idea if this course worked. I had no proof at all that it would work for anybody else other than some testimonials on a sales page. But I didn't have like any like proven results like TED software provides. And I went out and I just followed the course on complete faith. And the course could have been just total garbage. And I would have had egg on my face, right? And I would have looked horrible, but I would have gotten my first start, right? But then I could have bought other things that could have investments and things that could have increased my education, my knowledge, which I continue to do, right? Even to this day, right? But please don't think it takes money to make money, because you can go out there and put a job listing on Upwork and say, I'm going to do an SEO audit for you, comprehensive, for $150. And if you go out and sell 6 of them, right, or 7 of them or whatever, then go get Cora,
then
right?
get Cora,
Hire Josh to help you with some analytics, right? To like analyze a couple of things.
If you get 3 or 4 of those, join my mentorship program, and then I'll give you a discount on the audits, and I could do the audits for you. I mean, it's a win-win, right?
Right. So my point is if you're like, we're giving you a free, or any of you watching this later on, but we're giving you, hopefully, is a completely free way to go out and start generating revenue out of the gate if you're willing to take a small risk that, I don't know, I mean, really what the risk is that you stay in your current condition. Yeah. Right? That's the real risk. But if you're willing to work and do the hustle, and I also want to congratulate those of you that are here, right? Because I know we're kind of being like, oh, like we're beating you up about wanting things and help. You're here for the help. We do want to help you. Certain things we're able to offer you for free. Yes. But the other thing that we're going to tell you is go do it, right? Don't sit here and say, oh, give me more stuff for free. No, go do the work. Whoever's watching this, go do the work. Prove us wrong, right? Yeah. And I'll make you this deal, whoever's watching this live right now. Go do what Josh said. Go post your thing on Upwork, okay? Go out and try to sell some reports, right? Do it for 30 days. Work hard. Come back. And if you don't make any sales from that, right, then I'll run a free report for you, right? And I'll get me and Josh to give you a half-hour private consultation for you. But you have to prove that you did the work. Prove us wrong.
Right.
After that, don't ask for free, please.
Yeah, you should be able to make sales on Upwork. It should be super easy.
I'm on board with that offer. I'm on board with that, by the way.
Okay. Yeah. If someone does the work and comes back and shows us that they did it and they priced it right, like 144 around there for a Cora report, you don't even have to buy Cora first. Just put it out there and hustle. What I was gonna say, to my thing, video status. Sorry, you didn't have to remove your statement there. I'm not harping on you, man. What I was gonna say, and what Erock says is totally right, is that somebody lied to you when they said it was gonna be easy, and somebody lied to you when they said it wasn't gonna cost any capital. And capital can be money equity, or it can be sweat equity, right? If you're clever and if you're smart and you're listening to what we're talking about, you should recognize how, oh yeah, that'll work. Like you should be getting a little bit excited now at how that's going to work, and you're going to go do it. That's what makes an internet marketer, is when you hear a good idea, you get a little bit excited. You get a little bit, for lack of a better word, lustful at that money that you're going to make, because you know that if I go into Upwork and I sell Cora reports for $144 US each, and all I have to do is sell 2 of them, and my first month of Cora is already paid for. And the next question there from Calgary Painter is, can you sign up for just a single month? Yeah, you can sign up for just a single month. There's right, Ted? There's no contract you have to stay on for 3 months or 4 months.
Yeah, in fact, a lot of my customers who are cost sensitive will get Cora for 1 month. They'll run a bunch of keywords, then they'll cancel. Then they'll do the work that those reports suggest for the next few months. Then they'll get it again for 1 month, get the updates, and repeat. So you can manage costs if you only have one site or very limited use for Cora. And that's kind of why I have the model I do, is it allows for small independents as well as large agencies.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's exactly like Erock said, if you don't have the sweat equity, if you ain't got the hustle, dude, you're in the wrong business, because we're all working 12-hour days, and we are looking for the advantage, and we are looking to see how we can do this. And so don't think for a second it's going to be easy. If someone told you it was easy, they lied to you. Go and smack them in the face. And don't think you're going to get it for free, and don't think it's not going to cost some money or some capital, some sweat equity. You're going to have to, the best tools are going to cost money. They're not going to make it for free. If it's free, it's probably not worth anything. We got this terrible, we have this terrible thought in the world these days that there's good stuff out there for free. Nothing is for free. Absolutely nothing is for free. We're doing this so that we can make customers. Obviously, we will ultimately. I want mentorships. I want clients. Ted wants people using Cora. Erock wants to show how smart he is, and people getting his services and whatnot. And so that's why we're making this show at the end of the day. But we are offering stuff for free for that. So that's a good thing. But Google and Facebook, they don't let you do work for free. They're selling your information for money. And so that's not free. And you pay for that later on. When Google charges people more money for AdWords because the clicks keeps going up, the business has to charge you to get that money back. So you pay for Google through all the businesses. Everybody, Google is like a socialist communist paradise. Everybody pays for the searches everybody does on Google at the businesses, because every single business needs to pay more money in AdWords, so they recoup that cost by charging more. So nothing is for free, right? Everybody has to pay somewhere. Except for all these suggestions we're giving right now are completely free. You don't have to sign on to any of our services, and you can use all this information we're giving. All right, let's see if I have any more questions. Alexander says, Josh, can I get a picture with you, your autograph? No. Well, I mean, sure, if you really, really want one, but I'm not important enough to have a picture with an autograph on it. I'm just not that important, so I don't see why you'd want that. Somebody did ask how much are my services. Like I said, for a limited time, my mentorship group is going to be $300 a month. I'm going to be increasing that within a couple of weeks. Literally, I'm going to be doing a massive blitz to get more mentees, more mentor students. And that's going to be going up to $424. My audits, just email me for an audit. That's $1,400 for my mentors. That's either 50% or lower. I have monthly services anywhere from $500 to $3,000 a month. That's what my monthly service is, what my clients are paying. So that's where I'm at in terms of pricing. Let's see what other questions we have here. Oh, geez, there's just so many questions. You can never answer all of them. I do have video status asked is my tutorial for after launching Google's August algorithm. Yes, we do know what the August algorithm was about, and my audits do take that into account. Calgary Painter asks, what's a full audit cost for devoted viewers to your show? Well, email me. It's supposed to be $1,400 US. Email me and we'll see what we can do. That's all I'm going to say about that. Crush My SEO says, preach it, E-Rock. E-Rock is correct. Someone said in all caps, Chris Leonard said in all caps, Josh, are you saying we have to do an audit often? No, not if everything's going well. If everything's going up and everything's going great, you don't need to do an audit often. I mean, you could do an audit often if you have an SEO who's working for you, 24/7. But really, when it comes down to it, you do an audit and then you get results, and then you don't do another audit until something starts to fall off or you're not getting the best results. Then you do another audit. So you can operate on that fashion. There's bit.ly/SEO proof. If you want to see if I know what I'm talking about, go check out my successes. I throw new ones in there every week. What does it take to be part of your mentor group? Like I said, it takes $300 a month, and you have to be able to follow the rules. The very simple rules, like don't be an idiot and don't be annoying and things like that. But otherwise, it's you have to kind of join in and be a good internet citizen. But otherwise, it's education for pay. Josh, why does your eyebrows make so crazy shapes? I don't know, but maybe my eyebrows should have their own Twitter account. I'm pretty sure my eyebrows should have a Twitter account.
I'm gonna make a Twitter account for your eyebrows right now.
Oh, great. Okay. Yeah, DM. I see what you're saying, dude. Again, I didn't mean to rag on you. You didn't piss me off. It's okay. It's just that it is a little, see it from our side. We're working 12-hour days to provide this information for you, some for free, the highest quality information for a tiny price compared to like Alex Becker. Those guys' courses are like $5 to $10 grand a month. There are courses that cost 10 grand a month and people pay that. And so for me to charge $300 a month, I don't think it's so much of an ask. And to increase it to $424, I don't think is much of an ask either. Our stuff is actually not that expensive at all when it comes to how much money you can make with our stuff. But I totally understand. I didn't mean to make you feel bad if I did. I completely apologize. And just look at it from our side as well. It's like I'm a butcher and I'm doing all the butchery of the animals and I got them out here. And it's like you came in and you asked for a whole cow for free. And I'm like, no, get out of here.
Josh, I think the only appropriate thing to do in this case is I think you need to offer them a discount code.
I need to offer them a discount code?
Yes.
For my mentorship group? Sure.
And for Cora.
And for Cora. Okay. Well, like I said, there's a discount for Cora. It's bit.ly/get-Cora. It's a huge discount. In fact, based on if other people are paying $250 a month, I think this one is only $190. So that's a pretty hefty discount. And bit.ly/get-Cora. And like I said, right now my mentorship group is $300 a month. That price is going up to $424. Look at SEO Proof. Look at bit.ly SEO Proof to see what I'm doing and all my students are doing too. And I'm going to have another sales page showing you the testimonials of people in my group, showing that their minds are blown for the most part, and they are learning really well. Calgary Painter asks a great question. He says, "Is rank and rent part of the mentor program? I could use a side business." Yeah, sure. You can totally do a rank and rent scenario in the mentorship group. We can totally help you with that. So that's a great idea. Dids asks, where's Clint hiding? Clint sadly has a very time-consuming and expensive client per month, and so he doesn't have time to join us on the show, sadly. Alexander says, all the data you get from using Cora is, all caps, insane. And you're right. Cora is nuts, all the information it gives you. Your eyes are going to glaze over when you first look at it. It's that much information. It's that good. Eddie the Teddy says, best SEO show on the net. Great job, guys. Thanks very much. I appreciate it. We try and give you as much as we can for free. As much as we could do, but dude, throw us a bone. We need to eat here too, you know. Okay. Okay. I have a very serious critique here, so I have to take this with appropriate amount of seriousness. Alexander Adonoski says, Josh, for 3 years you are using the Apple's example. It's time to move on. This is a serious critique.
Might I suggest pears?
Green pears? Okay, so we'll have a vote. So everyone who wants me to move on from red apples, put in the chat and keep it clean, guys. Keep it clean. What you'd rather me use instead of red apples for my standard example. If you want it to be green pears or something else, keep it clean. But put your vote in the chat or in the comments later on after the show what you would rather me use instead of red apples. And I will, Alexander, Mr. Adonoski, from one ski to another, brother. I'll hit you up if they give me some good examples here. Again, my friend from Calgary, the Calgary Painter says, have noticed any jostling for positions on maps recently? Yes, I have. I got booted out of the snack pack for 3 to 4 search words in the last 2 weeks. That's too bad. I'm sorry to hear that. During the same time as they rolled out this medic update, which has nothing to do with medical sites. What I'm going to call the social update. They also did a map update as well. So, or it was just the same update which hit sites in the local space as well, which tells me, again, all the things we're talking about are global and local ranking factors. Keyword adjustment, social pages getting dialed up. So if you don't have social pages that you might have got hit, keywords got redialed, dialed down slightly based on the dialing up they had been previously doing, but some things went way up. So some keywords went down, some keywords went up. So you could have been hit by that as well. And some other little minor things that we found out. And also quality. Quality was a huge addition to that. And Pigeon is the algorithm, the Panda algorithm in local. It could all just be from that. So dude, you need another audit. You need me to take another look at what's going on. Or maybe Cora will help you out there as well. Or join the mentorship program, and maybe you can get some information out of that as well.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to mention this, but since this is basically one of the things that's been kind of the recurring theme is people wanting stuff for free, I am currently hosting a contest giveaway. And if you guys would like to, I don't know if it's going to show the lower third or not. I don't know if I can put a link in here anywhere. I don't know. Maybe it won't show up, but anyway.
You could put a link on a screen and then share the screen if you want.
Yeah, I guess I could do that. I thought the lower third would work, but I guess maybe Google Hangouts doesn't like lower thirds anymore.
I don't believe I've turned it off, so it should work.
Yeah. All right, so I can share my screen.
Oh, what is E-Rock doing now? What is he up to now? What's going on?
Yeah, I must just do a text editor.
What is he doing?
And can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, we can see your screen, and I'll give you focus as soon as it's there. Here, I got you focused now.
All right, awesome. So we're hosting a giveaway. It's a social media sharing contest. You go to rockstar.biz and just remove all the vowels, rckstr.bz/bizfamous-media-academy. We're actually going to show how people can get their business featured, mentioned, or quoted in major media sites like Entrepreneur, Forbes, Inc., etc. And some of people just want it for publicity and authority. Some people want it for SEO. But since people want stuff for free, I thought I would just share that with everybody.
There you go. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Erock. I'm keeping that up there so people can copy it down. Go ahead and put it back up there, Erock, so people can get it. Well, we see it on the right-hand side here too. There we go. So Biz Famous Media Academy. You guys go ahead and put that in the chat, and I'll put that in our chat, Erock, and I'll put it in the chat, or you can put it in the chat as well. And let's see if I can try and finish this question.
Is it published to the channel then too?
Yeah, I can put it on the comments as well.
Okay.
Okay, Alexander Titterman says, I would never give or sell my reports from Cora. This is my way to be 2 steps ahead of most SEOs. And 3 when watching this show. Yes, that's many people have said that. Clint has said that actually. My old Black Hat co-host is that he would never share Cora information because it's one huge competitive advantage. Why would he ever do that? But maybe that's the business you want to make for yourself. So we've given you great ways you could do that. Ted says, it's okay, Ted. We can talk about Cora. Cora's fantastic. Somebody asks, anyone know if there's good channels for PBN stuff? I have one of the best PBN guys, bar none, in my mentorship group. He's well known in Black Hat world for selling some of the best PBNs. You're welcome to talk to him when you join our group. And he does give discounts for the group, or I don't want to put him on the spot and say that he will, but he hinted that he might do so. So maybe he will do so. But what you need to do. The other thing I would say about that though is that they're except for SIA, which does some testing, but I have to admit those guys, to me, whenever I go on that group, they're not talking about testing. They're talking more about stuff they read on Black Hat World and what to buy there. I know maybe Ted wants to defend them because he's also a member, and maybe I've said something wrong, but they seem to be a little bit more Black Hat to me, and they're not really doing testing of PBNs, stringent, serious testing like my group here is doing. They seem to be a little bit more fly by the seat of their pants. Maybe that's just a white hat talking. I'm not really sure. But I don't know if there's any other good channels out there for any SEO information, including PBNs. We test PBNs all the time. So if you want to join my group for PBN stuff, like I said, I have got from Black Hat World, one of the best PBN guys in there. And we definitely we have tested PBNs. We're definitely testing PBNs. Vlad Martinez asks, Ted, do you have any group on Facebook, Mastermind, or something like this? Well, like Ted, do you want to take that one?
Oh, I'm in both SIA and the White Hat versus Black Hat Skype groups, so I'm commonly in both. So if you join either of those groups, you'll see me in there a lot. SIA's background, like their creator, her background was in PBN, so they have like more than a decade of PBN experience. Now their scientific studies are a little dated. Most of the studies they have on PBN links go back to the beginning of SIA. So they probably need to go back and retest. And that's usually where the science fails, is in the retesting frequently. Exactly.
Because Google makes changes all the time, and you would not believe what they change. You'd think that was in SEO. This is like a golden rule that Google can never change. They've recently changed like 4 of them.
But just to properly defend SIA, some of the experiments that have come out of SIA this year have been mind-blowing.
Yes.
So, like the ranking a page on page 1 with Cora tuned lorem ipsum Latin. Besides being hilarious, has profound implications. Like, Google is not reading your content for the quality of the content, not algorithmically. If lorem ipsum boilerplate, properly keyword tuned, can rank on page 1. Boom, right there, one test.
Yeah. We've done that. You've done that. And it's also kind of funny that apparently the people of Plano, Texas are fluent in Latin, because they're clicking on the results and they're not getting rid of it either. So it was there last time I checked. So, okay. So so to answer the question, Ted does have something of a mastermind group, me. So join my mentor group. Ted and I are Ted is one of my best buds. Whether he likes me or not, he can't get rid of me, so he's attached to the hip with me. So
Yeah.
So I'll just say his group is my group and my group is his group.
And the white hat versus black hat group is just as fantastic. The only difference between the two groups is their age and maturity.
There you go. I'm not sure what that means exactly, but okay. So here's E-Rock's offer. I'm putting it down in the chat, and I will make. I'll put it in the comment as well.
Did you just say, Ted, that I was immature?
I'll let you guys take it how you want to take it.
Okay. Okay. So I'm looking for more questions that I can easily. That I can easily answer. Eddie the Teddy says, are internal links a good way of pushing PageRank? No. I have currently 2 blogs post ranking on top 2. Both get good traffic and have acquired some backlinks. One of our recent tests, I didn't even get a chance to show you guys this today. Last week, I dropped a bombshell that that silos are BS. Silos are complete BS. And we've been doing recent testing and to make sure that we knew what we're talking about. And none of the tests have gotten in the way of that statement. Silos are complete and utter BS. I'll say it again. They have no inherent benefit whatsoever. Internal links themselves don't even seem to pass juice. At least 3 don't. Maybe if you have 1,000 internal links, it'll pass a little bit of juice, but they don't pass any juice at all. That's one of the things that Google seems to have recently changed, that the whole SEO world is having trouble wrapping their brain around and thinks I'm just crazy for saying it. But dudes, we've done 5 separate tests now, and internal links have not pushed the needle at all in any way, shape, or form. The only way that internal links and silos and orphan child pages push, they actually give you extra pages for RankBrain to have to choose amongst your money page or like 4 supporting pages, and sometimes it puts your money page underneath, and so it's not helping. The only time that silos, internal silos, or internal like orphan child pages or like semantically related pages that you just make for SEO purposes, the only time that it doesn't seem to help at all. Actually, there's no time it seems to help. Can you route external links through them? Yes. We've tested putting external links through a bottom page and pointing to an upper page, and the upper page goes up 2 spots or so, but I can point links directly at the money page and bring it up 5 spots. So why would you want to devalue your link juice? So I'll talk more about this in another show because I'm way out of time here. But long story short is silos are BS. Anyone who says they work is BS. They don't help in any way, shape, or form. And I can prove it through single variable testing. I'll show you more about this next week. So answering Eddie the Teddy, should you be making any internal links? The only thing internal links do is that they route external link juice to pages you want, and you would only use them in a rare scenario, like for some reason you can't link to the money page, or you want to use it as a link router, but then you're really devaluing your juice. I would just use a rel canonical with a URL parameter instead. You lose no juice doing it that way. So silos are just an amateur SEO theory that really doesn't work and doesn't help you at all. And the only way you can know that is through single variable testing. And anyone who says otherwise, they just don't understand, and they're just being a stick in the mud. So there you go. On that bombshell, I'll end it. I would like to thank E-Rock for being here. I'd like to thank all my mentors for being here, mentees for being here. I'd like to thank Ted for being here. This has been the White Hat versus Black Hat SEO show. We're way over time. So if you have any SEO questions, if you want to try Cora out, try it for a month and see how you like it. Go to bit.ly/get-Cora. If you want to get on my mentorship group before I up the price, which is going to be very shortly, email me at joshbachynski@gmail.com. If you need an audit, email me at joshbachynski@gmail.com. I guarantee I can make your site rank better. I guarantee it that will happen. If you want to get E-Rock's crazy offer, I put the link in both the chat and in the comments. And if you want an autographed picture of me, sorry, I don't have any, and I don't think that's an important thing to have in the world. So if you have any other SEO questions, I will try to help you out as much as I can for free. Email me at joshbachynski@gmail.com. And as I always like to say, good luck in the SERPs, and we'll see you guys next week. Say bye, guys.
Bye-bye, and thanks again.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.